By the end of this episode, what I'd like to have done is the ridge beam set some of the rafters up, if not all of the rafters up. And then next episode, I can work on the overhangs, work on the fascia board, sheet everything, and we'll be ready to rock. That one's perfect. This one we're gonna put on the outside so that I can take this one off. The front's good. Time to do the back. Now the back, the only thing I have to do is cut down here at the bottom and then adjust in and out. I like this side. So just this side, and then we're done. We'll start our rake wall framing. So like I said, we're gonna start back here. I need to build 2 callies for the back corners, but I wanna get this plate in here. I have 90 3/8. We're just gonna drop it in. And that fits like a glove. Now when we lay this out, we want to make sure that when we put a sheet on the very outside and pull 4 feet in, that a sheet breaks perfect. So in order to do that, we're going to hook the outside of the building and pull 16 centers. A little hard to ride on these frozen plates. Now we will have a stud here. This will be our first stud. We have to put in our California corner here. 1 stud there, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll build up the center. With rake walls being symmetrical, the same on both sides is important. So we're gonna pull the other way, 16, 32, and 48. The reason we do this is because this stud, this one, and this one, all of them will be the same exact number as this, just flipped. About 4 1/4 in between the 2 of them. What we're gonna have in here is a doubled up king post, and that's gonna support the ridge beam up above. So we need to find the center of this. We're gonna call it 4 1/4. So that's 2 1/8. That's the center. So now what we're gonna do is go 1.5 inches this way, 1.5 inches this way, and that's gonna be our direct support up above. And what I'm likely gonna do is just sandwich all this stuff here in the middle so that it works out. So we'll go 1.5 inches this way. We'll go 1.5 inches this way. So we'll have 1 stud, 2 studs, and I'll bring these 2 in so that we have full support. So we'll cut 2 of these, 1 for each side, and we'll cut our base stud, we'll cut our top plate, and we'll get this thing rolling. Now this stud here that goes on top of this one, this goes to the outside corner, this goes to the inside, and a wall butts into it. And when you join that wall to it, you have 1.5 inches left over here, and that's what your drywall backing is. So the corner of the room, your drywall will go all the way up this. This is just gonna flush right up to the outside, all the way up against that California we just put in. Next thing we're gonna do is put in those 2 studs that we calculated for the middle. So the studs in these walls, they're all 92 1/4. The first stud in our rake wall is 92. You can see that the short point is a little bit shorter than our standard stud. 2 top plates stacked is 3 inches. 2 top plates cut on 3 and 12 is 3 1/4. So you need to adjust that first stud a 1/4 inch down so that the top plate's plane out. The only thing we want to make sure of is that the angle is going the correct way. So we'll have one going this way and then another coming back this way. Now this gap in here is 3 inches all the way up. That's where we're gonna put our king post. So we'll double up 2 2x6 once I figure out how high that ridge needs to be, and then we'll put it in. We'll stack the 2 ridges on top of it. We have a perfect wood to wood connection sandwiched in between these. So now these top plates that we cut on a 3 and 12, you want it to go just like so. The reason we cut that on a 3 and 12 is so that the plate can be on a pitch, but this is perfectly plumb. Drop this thing in place like so. And this will line up here. And the ridge will sit right in here. We want this nice and tight right up against there, flush to the outside. Now we're gonna mark out as much stuff as possible. 98 and 7 is the last one. This is looking good. I can double top plate this, but I haven't double top plated anything yet. I think I might get the front wall framed out, get my king studs in there, frame out the header. I have a 60x D French door in the front. It's gonna be beautiful. You're gonna open this up, have this big space in here. For what it is, it'll be nice. If you think of this as like a bedroom or like an office, a 9 foot by 16 foot office isn't that bad. I'll double top plate everything towards the end. I wanna get the front framed out while I can, while the weather's still nice. Double top plate I could do if it was snowing or on fire. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy new year. We have 4 toolkits getting given out, 4 $250 cash prizes, and they're going out to you guys as the viewers. If you win, in the description down below, there's a verification process that you're gonna have to go through in order to prove that you are yourself. So if your name is called right now, go to the description down below, check it out. Now my editor did a random YouTube comment picker with the keyword Christmas, and we ended up with over 1,300 people. I cannot thank you guys enough, that is awesome. I'm gonna read the comment first and then the name. Winner number 1 said, I love your videos and I love you. Christmas with some little face. William Harris 3992. Congratulations, you just won 250 bucks. Going on to winner number 2, Merry Christmas, Matt. Love your program, been watching for years. 2025 will be epic. I agree. That is Steve Lim 6886. Congratulations, $250 is yours. The third cash prize, I'm hoping to have my wife's office shed done by Christmas. It's been a real hoot doing a 16x24 shed without help. Love your videos, they have helped teach me how to do it properly. At Luke Faulkner T2D. Congratulations, buddy, 250 bucks. And the last $250 cash prize winner said, can't wait to see this new venture. Merry Christmas, Matt. Bonnie Barber 6114. Congratulations, 250 bucks. On to the toolkits that have personally selected tools by none other than myself. I gave you tools that I feel like anybody can use regardless of what trade you're in, whatever industry you're in, even if you're not in the industry. Winner number 1, love this series, Matt, been watching for a few years now. I remember your gift guide videos in the past for Christmas. Would love to see another one. All the best to you and your family this holiday season. Merry Christmas at the Tagging Drummer. Second winner, keep doing amazing things. Merry Christmas. At Cross777. Winner number 3, love the videos, Matt. This year I became a qualified carpenter in New Zealand before Christmas. At Tyler, I'm gonna butcher your last name, buddy, because it's about 18 characters long. Vannikirk 7055. Congratulations. And the last comment, Merry Christmas, everyone. At Mr. 13 that guy. that toolkit's yours. Now, before we get back into the home renovation series, I wanted to let you know that the tools that you see along this back wall, along with many more, I'll be giving away at the House Pro booth at the International Builder Show and World of Concrete. If you guys want more information about either one of those shows, they're hosted January and February of 2025 in Las Vegas at the Convention Center. The info is down in the description below. While a lot of you guys said that this was unnecessary to give back to you, you have to understand that what you guys have done with support over the last 6 years has enabled me to do something that I've wanted to do for over a decade now. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you for being here. Back to the building. Now the front here is going to be done a little bit differently. We're not going to have those two king posts in the center, not yet at least. What's going to happen is we're going to put in the first stud, the second stud, top plates. We're going to put in a king stud, a header across, supports coming down, has trimmers, and we're going to jack up off the top of the header, and that's how we're going to support that king post. So my center mark is in here. We have a 63-inch door, split in half. That's 31.5. So off of the center, we're gonna be 31.5 for our opening. We're gonna have a trimmer in here. That's gonna neck us down to 30 on this side, 30 on the other side, giving us a perfect 60. My door is gonna come in at 59.5 inches and give me a 1/4 inch on both sides. So now what I have to do is pull from here, since this is our base stud at 92, and we're gonna go right to the king stud, which is 12 3/8. So we've got 12-inch 3/8 run. We have a 3-inch pitch, and we're gonna hit rise, add that to 92 inches. We have 95 1/8 to the short point right here. Now, instead of going over and calculating the other side, we're just gonna cut 2 of those, 95 1/8. The reason that I do short points for everything is so that I don't have to bother asking, is it short, is it long? Everything is short, always. So I'm gonna stick this here. I'm not gonna nail this yet. I need to make sure that's perfect. So I'll stick this one up and we'll work it in 3 inches apart. I gotta say, guys, we're pretty good. Now there's 2 things I wanna do right now. I want to plumb up one of these sides and shoot it in place. Before I do the other side, I want to confirm our 63-inch opening that we have across the bottom from here to there. And if it's too big or too small, it's not going to work. So I'm going to pin this. I'm going to get this one where it goes. And in theory, we should be 63 inches in between. If we're not, we're going to adjust and make it 63 inches because that's the only thing that matters, is that our header fits in here good. I paid $705 for the French door going in, and I think I'm happy with that. It's a really nice door. So I'm plumbed up over here. I'm plumbed and nailed over here. Why do I doubt myself? Why do I doubt myself? 63 on the money. Now I don't have a header here. Normally I would put in like a 6x12, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm trying to pack as little material as possible. 78.5. The primary use of a jack stud, or a trimmer as we call them, is to support the roof load path coming down. Everything transfers from the roof all the way down. We have what we call live and we have what we call dead loads. A dead load is all the stuff that is always there. It's not moving, it's just there. The roof rafters, the ridge beam, all the way to the composite shingles up on top. All of the material that's held up on the roof system is what we consider a dead load. A live load is something that is always changing. A live load could be snow in this case. That's why we have a 2x12 in this roof system here, is because we do get snow. If you drive around town here, every single little studio or shed that's built has a big bow in the roof. The reason for that is because they used a tiny little ridge beam. Back in the day, it was 2x4, 2x6, or even 1x6. So when we build nowadays, we want to think about those live loads. What do we have in the area here? Considering we have snow, and sometimes there may be a foot or two of snow on top of this roof, we want to make sure that it can hold it. So we've got the ridge beam up at the top. It's going to land on 2 of our king posts, which land on our header that comes across here, which goes down our trimmers, which transfers through our sill plate down to the 4x10 that huck off of the other 4x10, which transfer down all the way to those concrete pads. Construction is a lot of load paths. It's a lot of figuring out how the weight is carried from the top down to the bottom. So since this building is going to be getting sheathing, I'm going to put this to the outside so that I can insulate this cavity, and then I'll put another 2x6 in here before I close up the inside. So these are going to go in just like this. That's money right there. This is measuring out a little too tight, so I'll have to trim a fuzz off of this side, which I'll do right now. At this point, I can double top plate everything, figure out how low I need my supports in here. I'll fasten all this stuff together, because what's gonna happen is we're gonna have 2 2x6 coming up to about, I'd say here, and then our 2x12 is gonna sit here and up. Now we've got 3. When in doubt, cut it out. We know this is level, we know our floor is level, so when we put our square up against here and we can see that it's tight all the way up, we know that this is in at a perfect 90 or plumb. So I have to solo set these 2x12. They're not that big, they're not that heavy either. I picked light ones just because of this. But what I have to do is get a 2x12 up in here and then over to there. So my plan is I'm gonna figure out the number for my king post. I'm gonna put this one in, just this one. I'm gonna bring the material in, slide it up into here, ladder over here, pick up, bring it in, drop it in. It's gonna be the easiest thing I've ever done. So I've transferred layout from the bottom plate down there onto my sill plate here. I've had a lot of people ask me, Matt, why do you double sill? There's no need for it. My reasoning for double sill is so that I have solid backing around the window. I want to be able to fasten my trim around the window with my siding to a solid piece of wood. If I have a single sill here, the nail flange on a window covers all of it. So if I want to get good penetrating nails through my trim around the window into that piece of wood, I have to go through the nail flange. Whereas if I do this, I have 3 inches down here. I could put my window in and then nail off below it and be perfectly fine. So our double top plate is here for one reason and one reason only. What that reason is, I don't know. I'm just kidding. The way that things get framed these days, your studs are 16 on center, your roof is 24 on center, and your floor is 16, or 12 depending on the engineering. The reason for a double top plate is a load bearing purpose. You'll have a truss land here, you'll have a truss land here, and then you'll have a truss land back on layout. So it skips. You can get rid of the second top plate if you stack everything. If everything lines up on top of studs, it's fully load bearing and transferred down. Today's episode's been big on engineering, weight transfer, load paths. I like it. We're learning. When you can, try to nail on top of your studs. That way if you have to drill for electrical or anything, you're drilling right through here and there's no nails. Now it's time to take a 2x8 rafter that we plan on using, and we're gonna take that and project it up. We're gonna figure out how much we need to drop our ridge beam down into the roof system here in order to flush out the top of the ridge to the top of the rafter. Let's go check it out. So we're gonna take this, we're gonna put our square on it, we're gonna pivot out to a 3 12 pitch right here. We're gonna mark that. Right now across we're 7.5. But here we are 7 3/4. So we're gonna take that 7 3/4 number, now that we know it, over to our 2x12. This is where our rafter is gonna start up here. It's gonna plane up at the top and it's gonna come down to here. So whatever number this is from here to here, we need to measure over on our rake walls and come down that much. That's where our support post is gonna go. So I'm looking like 3 3/4. I'm gonna go 3 5/8 just to be safe though. So that 3 5/8 we're gonna pull from right up here down, we're gonna mark it, and whatever we are from here up to it, that's what we're gonna cut our doubler at. We'll do the same on the back. We'll get our 2 king posts in back there. We'll shove the ridge up over there and then set it in. So I'll do it on the front so you guys can see. I'm gonna pull down 3 5/8. So I'm showing 15 3/8. So we'll cut 2 at 15 3/8. That'll slide in there. If I have to cut the top plates back a little bit more, it's not that big of a deal. So the way that I'm gonna pull my ridge number, you might think that it would be better to pull it from up there and pull across. These could be out either which way. I'm unsure. I know that my corners are plumbed up. So in order to get an accurate number and know that it's actually right, I'm gonna pull bottom plate to bottom plate all the way through. We'll cut that and we'll set that. After we do that, what I need to do is take a brace here and to brace here. I've got this one, and I need to plumb up this way. We're good this way. We need to plumb this way. Now I'm not gonna line you this. You know how we typically run a string line on the outside and line those outside walls. I'm not gonna do any of that because this building is so small that when I go to stack out my roof, I'll put a rafter up over here, a rafter up over here, and we'll just keep the very outside of my seat cut to the outside of the plate, and we're perfectly fine. We have 186.5 inches. So that's what our rafter looks like. This is 5.5 inches on our seat cut here. It comes up just a fuzz, tiny bit. This will be a 2x6 block up at the top. This is a 2x6 coming out. I don't want 8 inches because I have a 2x8 fascia board. If I did that, it would just look really goofy because the tail would actually be taller than the fascia. It wouldn't look right. Let's test this on all 4 corners, and if it's right, I'm just gonna gang cut every single one of them. We'll cut the whole entire roof right now, and yeah, make this thing happen. I'm not cutting this. This is garbage. My rafters that I got from the lumberyard, I'm not very happy with. They look terrible. This one here is from Home Depot. This is beautiful. The ones that I got from the lumberyard, I don't think there's one that's been good. How does mud keep getting on the handle of this bad boy? I got a big crack right here, so I'm gonna come to the bottom of that. I've also got about a 1/4 inch of difference in material here. That's terrible. There's a 4-foot crack down this 10-foot board. That's cool, thank you. You know, lumber quality, I don't feel like has ever been all that great, but I feel like it's definitely gotten worse. I'm gonna cut the last of my rafters and I'm gonna install as many of them as I can. I got 2 more. I'm gonna hook the outside and pull 24 centers. And then we'll do the same thing up here. We'll hook it, we'll pull 24 centers. I'll bring my big square with me. Now, these are just gonna flush out to the top. They're gonna get a couple nails down the side, and that's it. The first one goes all the way on the outside. ridge board is pretty straight. If it was any bigger than this, I would string it and make sure it was money, but siding down it, we are as close to perfect as we're gonna get without overthinking it. Today we got a lot done. We started the day off colder than we have been any other day that I've been here. I had both of the rake walls left to frame. The window facing the mountain range wasn't framed. That wall was hardly put together whatsoever. We only had a single top plate on both those side walls. So we got the top plates complete. We got the rake walls framed. We got the RO framed for the French door in the front that's getting dropped in the next episode. I'm not gonna lie to you guys though, when I had to pivot from the concrete slab, a foundation that I'm very familiar with, to a post and pier foundation, which I've done many times before, but I really didn't wanna do, I was kind of nervous that this thing wouldn't come out as clean. We are perfectly parallel. We're perfectly square. The whole thing worked out awesome. Our rafter for one side worked on the other side perfectly. That ridge hangs down a good 4 inches and I'm super pumped on that because that drywall is gonna finish up, that beam's gonna be there. We're gonna wrap it with a big old 7-inch beam on the bottom and man, it's gonna look beautiful. In the next episode, I splurged on fascia board. I bought the most expensive fascia board money can buy. My 4 sticks here were over $400. And the reason for that is it's not too common out here. Everybody has either Doug fir or hemp fir or the aluminum fascia board like I've got on my house here. I want to change that. This house is getting the same exact fascia board. It'll be a couple grand just to wrap this place. But in my opinion, the outside of the home, the curb appeal is everything. So I want to make this thing look beautiful as well. I hope you guys are enjoying this series so far, getting to take a little look into what I'm up to out here and how this place turns out. We have a long ways to go. We're barely a couple percent into this home remodel, but I'm very, very excited to have this thing here finished. Build out the studio, make it nice, make it something that I can enjoy going into at night instead of staying in one of these dirty bedrooms in here. Whoever lived here before was not a fan of cleaning. But I'm off to grab something to eat. We didn't stop much today. Need to go to Home Depot as well, grab some stuff to where the next episode we've got everything we need to wrap this thing up and close on out. I have to head back home for a while and then I'm coming back up to finish out the insulation, the drywall, the exterior, the roofing, the paint, and everything else. So the next trip up, we're gonna have this thing complete, ready to go. If you guys haven't already, please hit that subscribe button down below. If you have any questions or comments about anything that we're doing, drop them down below. Leave a like on this video, and I'll see you guys next time.